Miss Humphrey and I have been through a lot together. Ever since I was a freshman, she found me when I was in 8th grade and recruited me for Acadec. And then ever since then, she's been a coach, a teacher, a listening ear, and just pretty much anyone I could talk to if I had a problem. There's so much I could say about what Miss Humphrey and I have been through together. I've enjoyed being a team member on her Acadec team so much, being a student in her class, and just getting to know her because she's one of the most remarkable people that I have the good fortune to know. And I love her so much, and she's more than a teacher. I'll never forget all the lessons she taught me about life, about school, and Acadec, and all the fun times we had together. So I love you, Miss Humphrey, and I'll miss you next year.
Susan, you have paid me the greatest compliment and honor by recognizing me. I don't think you understand how much that means. When you arrived in high school, you came with the background and skills to succeed in anything that you attempted. You've exceeded everyone's expectations, even in the areas that you feared, like public speaking. You have turned those into strengths. You've been with me at least one period a day, every day for the past 4 years. When you leave tomorrow night, you'll leave with a big part of my heart as well. Your accomplishments and leaderships and activities like UIL and Academic Decathlon have made my job so much easier. You've always done things the right way and with such poise for one so young. I'm not worried about your future success. You can and will succeed at any endeavors that you may attempt. You know that you have a fan here at Hawkins High School rooting for you all the way. We've talked privately about your accomplishments, and I know how you dislike being the center of attention, so I'll try not to embarrass you. But I do have a few tidbits of advice that I borrowed from Mary Ann Rodmacher. Live with intention. Walk to the edge. Listen hard. Practice wellness. Play with abandon. Laugh. Choose no regret. Appreciate your friends. Continue to learn. Do what you love. Live as if this is all there is. Remember that I love you and will miss you, and I want you to take time to smell the roses.
I chose Mrs. Judy Humphrey because she's been there for me whenever I needed her. Through all the good and all the bad, she's been there celebrating or crying with me. She taught me not to be afraid of expressing myself and my opinions. When I wanted to talk politics, I could speak with her without worrying that my views would be belittled or that she would get angry. When something would happen in my life, I knew I could go to her for advice. I'm a more confident person because of her. I'm more sure of myself and my beliefs. Mrs. Humphrey is a second mother to me, helping me to grow and always there to comfort me. Without her, I'd be half the person I turned out to be. Thank you, Mama Humphrey. I'll miss you, and I fully expect to see your Acadec team next year at state.
Jenny, you honor me so much by selecting me. For a teacher, this means the world, and coming from you, it's even sweeter. You're such a fine young woman, full of integrity, reason, common sense, and innate kindness. You're so very talented and creative. You've even written and published your own book. You don't know how humbling that is to someone like me. I admire your honesty and your ability to think and speak for yourself. It shows great strength of character and a fine upbringing by wonderfully supportive parents. You've been with me for 3 wonderful years, in classes, in UIL, in Academic Decathlon, in Citizen Bee, and you've always been a stalwart for us in everything you do. You give it your all. You never shirk your responsibilities or obligations, and you always lift the spirits of everyone around you. Your smile and hugs always brighten my day. I've grown to love you dearly. There's no doubt in my mind or heart that the future will bring you great success. To quote Harriet Tubman, Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars and to change the world.
The teacher I chose that has influenced me the most is Mrs. Holcomb, and I chose Mrs. Holcomb first of all because as an English teacher she has really, this year and as a freshman when I had her, she really helped my writing evolve, and she knows that that's something that's extremely important to me. But more importantly than that is I chose her because of who she is and how she's helped me grow as a person. She was one of the first teachers that I really formed a relationship with when I came to high school as a freshman, and since then she has just shown that she is such a, obviously as a freshman teacher, patient, understanding individual, and she means a whole lot to me, and she has really helped me more than I'm sure she is aware, and I love her very much.
Hi Brittany, thanks so much for choosing me as your favorite teacher. I was truly so surprised because there are so many teachers that I know that have touched your life and the life of your colleagues in my class this year that I truly never expected to be chosen by anyone. I'm especially honored that you chose me. A lot of times when I have a student in freshman English, I don't really get to work with them again or see them again very much until they're seniors. But that's not what happened with you, because you jumped into ready writing pretty quickly and you were very serious about it, as we know since you made it to state this year. And it's been such a pleasure, especially to not just watch you mature as a person, but to watch you mature as a writer. And this year was the year that you pretty much blew me away. You had a lot of assignments and you had to work pretty hard, but obviously, and you know where I'm going with this, the one that impressed me so much was the one that you wrote about the little Kovu plushie doll that you got when you were a child. And we modeled that assignment after one in a magazine. And here it is. This is the assignment that you did that was honestly better than any of the ones that I read in the magazine. And so I want to take this opportunity to really encourage you to never forget what a strong writer that you are. No matter what field you choose, and right now it seems to be dietetics or something in the healthcare field, they're always looking for good writers, people who can communicate well. And that's why I have these magazines showing behind me. These are the kind of magazines that are just waiting for your byline. And you can do this. I hope you'll keep in touch with me. Let me know how you're doing so we can continue to have those visits that we've often had. I hope you have a marvelous college experience and that it just opens the door to a very happy and successful life. Thanks.
Well, Ms. Sanders, this is Bakota Baby speaking, and I chose you because you've helped me through almost every problem I've ever had, and have always been there for me. You're a wonderful person, and I'm going to miss you so much when I'm in Corpus Christi. I would like to thank you for putting up with me in every play that I've been in since freshman year. I know that I could be a hassle at times, but you've never stopped believing in me. It's because of you that I want to do theater when I get to Corpus Christi. You're such a strong woman who has helped make me into the person I am today. I love you, and I promise that I'll come visit you every holiday.
First, I'd like to thank Dakota for selecting me as his teacher, and it's always an honor when a student picks us. And before I say anything really about him personally, I have to tell a little story that probably a lot of you have heard. But Dakota and I kind of go way back. His mother was in my English class back in the 90s, was a student I really enjoyed. She was in my play. And when she graduated and went on to work at the Rocking Horse, my little girl was going to Rocking Horse. And she would come home talking about Miss Amy. And one day, Miss Amy had a baby, and Jessica was so excited about what she called Bakota Baby. And that's all I heard about was Bakota Baby this, Bakota Baby that. And she even named her baby doll Bakota Baby. And then about 14 years later, Mrs. Iglesias asked me to come down to the middle school because she had a GT program going on, and when I got there, she said, "Oh, I have a student I want you to meet because he really loves theater." And so she introduced me to this boy named Dakota Finney. And I just thought, oh no, this can't be Dakota Baby. I don't think I asked him immediately, but it wasn't very long before I asked him some questions to find out. And sure enough, Dakota Finney is Dakota Baby. And he's been involved in every play he's done that I've done since he got in high school as a freshman. So I think that's a total of 10 plays right now. And he's a Black Rose Player president, and he's become like a second son. He calls me his second mom. And, you know, I just love him. I hate the fact that he's graduating and leaving me, but I'm so proud of how well he's done and where he wants to go and what he wants to do with his life. And Dakota, I just can't imagine you not being able to do anything that you truly set your heart on. You're a wonderful student and an even more wonderful person. And I want to thank you again for picking me as your special teacher.
I chose Miss Judy Humphrey because she's been very supportive of me in the last few years that I've known her. I met Miss Humphrey my sophomore year when she was recruiting me for academic, and since then I've become very close to Miss Humphrey. She's like a second mother to me and basically any other student that she has in the school. Miss Humphrey is very loving and dedicated and hardworking with all of her students, not with just one group of students, not with just her academic students. She's really hardworking towards everyone, and she puts forth her best effort every time she starts to teach, and I really love that about Miss Humphrey. And that's one of the reasons why she's my most inspirational teacher, is because she's so hardworking and passionate about everything that she does. And I'd consider myself very lucky if I were even half the woman that she is when I grow up. So that is the main reason why I chose Miss Judy Humphrey as my most influential teacher. I love you, Miss Humphrey.
Jocelyn, you light up my days with your megawatt smile. Our world is a brighter, more wonderful place with you in it. With your enthusiasm, energy, sense of humor, work ethic, and outgoing personality, you've made a place in my heart and probably everybody here in Hawkins as well. From the first day you were in my class, your talent for acting and speaking was very apparent to me. These talents have certainly shown through with your academic medals for speech and your acting awards for one-act play. I know you plan to go into pre-med, but I wouldn't be at all surprised to see you one day either on TV or in a movie. You have a special place in my heart, and always will. You don't have any idea what it means to me when you call me your second mom or when you wish me a happy Mother's Day. You will be successful no matter what you do. I have faith in you that you will choose the right path. Just remember what Dr. Seuss said. You have brains in your head and feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose.
The teacher I would like to honor is Mrs. Doris Sanders. Mrs. Sanders has been my director for all my years of high school. I have officially been her go-to guy for at least the last 2. I would do anything for Mrs. Sanders. Whenever I would have free time, I would go to her room just to chat and hang out. Many of our discussions would be rather superficial, but on rare occasions they would go deeper. I love those deep conversations. Mrs. Sanders is kind, loyal, loving, and has a royal sense of humor. She is very encouraging. I can honestly say that Mrs. Sanders is my friend.
Jonathan, I'd like to thank you for selecting me as your teacher. We've had a lot of experiences together over the past 4 years, and I have gotten to the point where I've started calling you my go-to guy, because anything I've ever needed done, if I ask Jonathan to do it, it gets done. I'm really proud of the fact that you're in the top 10. I know that you have worked really hard for me, but I haven't always been aware of you as an academic student, and yet suddenly here you are. You chose not to take the college English class, but you ended up being an excellent student in my English class, and seeing you in the top 10 shows me how hard you work in your other classes. I don't know if it can equal how hard you work in theater. I've never had a student that was so willing to do manual labor, to lift and cart things out and find things that are way up high on loft areas, or build things or tear things apart. every time we have rehearsal, when I say we need to get set put out, you're the first one on stage. And aside from the fact that I'm going to miss having you around, I don't think there's anybody that's going to step up and just be my go-to guy. I'm hoping somebody shows up maybe from the 9th grade, or maybe someone else will decide that they want to fill those shoes. But it's going to be difficult. You really are a go-to guy, and I hope that we stay in touch, because I want to see where your life takes you. I'm sure you will be successful, and it has been a real pleasure having you in class, having you in my theater program, you and your little family, and I just hope the best for you. Thank you.
I chose Miss Erica Pritter because if it wasn't for her, my creativity wouldn't have flourished as much as it has over the past years. She has been the only teacher all 4 years that I've had a class with all 4 years. She also taught me that there's really no stupid ideas, there's just ideas that don't fit with everything. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I would be right now, especially with my photography, because she taught me so much with my photography that it just changed a lot. And I know that she's great because I can just go to her whenever and talk to her, and we can cry, or she can help me through something that's tough, or we can joke and laugh around and just mess around. And I know I'm gonna miss her a lot. That's why I chose Miss Prater.
Ashley, I'm so proud and honored that you treasure the time that we've spent together in the 3 years that we've worked on publications or worked as in the English class. We've both learned and we've both grown so much. The trait that I admire the most about you is your enthusiasm. Every day you come in the door, can I try this? Will you show me how to do this? Or have we thought about doing something this way? And that openness and your willingness to always put forth your best effort is going to take you so far. And I'm so excited to watch the plans that God has for you. I love you and I'll miss you, and I'm proud to call you my friend. Good luck.
I chose Judy Humphrey for my teacher because since the end of my 8th grade year, she's always been there for me. She came and drafted me and Susan when we were in 8th grade for academic decathlon, and for the past 4 years I've had her as a teacher. She's the only teacher that I've had for 4 consistent years, and no matter what it is that I need, she's always there. She's like the mom at school that all of us have always had, and even through my slacking off and not doing as well in school, she still helped and made everything go by better, and it helped me through some classes and made sure that I did everything good and made sure that I was going to get through the classes no matter what. And she helped me get motivated and do better, and I just am really lucky to have such a great teacher.
AJ, I first met you when you were in Miss Iglesias' GT class. I basically came into the class and told you that you were going to be in my academic decathlon class. And you and Susan competed as freshmen on a senior-laden team. You more than held your own. Your speaking and interviewing talents were outstanding, and you competed for me until I lost you to basketball. You're a handsome young man with so much potential. Watching you grow up and entering adulthood has been an experience for both of us. You've hung in there and have learned many valuable lessons along the way. You've worked hard and taken challenging classes. You've been a wonderful Model UN leader, participated in one-act play, in UIL academics, athletics, academic, and Citizen Bee. You've represented Hawkins High and your family well. I expect no less from you in the future. You've given me a great honor by selecting me, AJ. Thank you. I will miss you. I leave you with some sage advice from a man by the name of William Arthur Ward. And I think these are the keys to your success. Do more than belong, participate. Do more than care, help. Do more than believe, practice. Do more than be fair, be kind. Do more than forgive, forget. And do more than dream, work.
Brooks. Where do I start? I really don't. Well, I think the first time I ever met her was in 8th grade. In 8th grade, she told me I was so bossy. She thought I was just the most evil thing, like, ever, because I was bossing everybody around, telling them what to do and stuff. But then I got to high school, and I had her in class my sophomore year, and then she saw that I wasn't so bad after all. And I was like, yeah, she's not so bad either. And, you know, we just clicked, I guess. And she's always been my favorite. She always helps me when I need to talk or whatever. Just anything when I'm stressed out and I have nobody else to talk to, or everybody's getting on my nerves. She's the one that's not. So, you know, she's just always been there, like a shoulder to cry on and stuff, and she's just the greatest.
Ketchy Ola. First impression of Ketchy was when I first saw her in my class coming to make chocolate candy or something for Miss Iglesias. Wow, I thought she was the meanest kid on the block. Then I began to learn to know her, and now she's one of my favorites. And I like one thing about her is that she keeps it real. She'll tell you what she thinks and how she feels and won't bite her tongue. And I love her as if she were one of mine. My baby girl, Ketchy Ola.
The reason why I chose Coach Walker is she inspired and motivated me to keep working and to do my best. She also taught me no matter how big your problem is, you can always find a solution. I'll never forget that. I will miss you, and I love you, Coach Walker.
I want to say thank you to Hector Gutierrez for keeping the spark in my teaching career. Hector, I have truly enjoyed teaching you and watching you grow in all areas of your life. You are a true example of a leader, a team player, a gentleman, and an honest individual. Thank you for the memories, the laughter, the hard work, and the dedication you have put into your learning years at Hawkins High School. Hector, enjoy life. Make your dreams of becoming a chef a reality. Exercise daily. Walk with Jesus. Remember to live every moment, love unconditionally, laugh hysterically, and then laugh some more, and pray daily. Thanks for embedding your footprints on my heart. I love you, and don't forget my soul peds.